I have had a basket of W7 makeup sitting on the floor in this room for maybe 2 months now. I have no idea how long it's been sitting here, but I have just not had time to play with it. And I just really wanted to get to know this brand a little bit. This is a very easily accessible drugstore brand here in the Netherlands. They do have a lot of kind of like copycat makeup, which I don't find necessary, but it's not like a one-on-one, I feel, with most of these things. And I do think it's interesting to see kind of like what their quality is like. And I thought, let's do kind of like a dive into W7. So let's get into it. All right, let's start with this Gloss Away lip balm, the blueberry lip balm. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be exactly. I feel like W7 does a lot of products that are kind of like inspired by a general trend in more like expensive makeup brands. So this is like a squeezy tube lip balm. Of course, I bought the purple one because I do love a sheer purple product. I am already wearing this and it is kind of like okay, it's okay. Like the color is too subtle to really do anything. Scent is also really subtle. It's quite a thin product. It's not like a super hydrating, super thick and emollient feeling product. It's a thinner, glossy feeling product. I don't know if it's enough for me, but it's also not like obviously too thin. So I'm just gonna give it a go. I'm just gonna keep it on for a little bit, see what it does for my lips. By the way, I'm already wearing some face makeup. I didn't buy any like foundation, concealer, or anything like that powder from W7. I don't know if they have it. I don't know if I didn't buy it because they didn't have it, or if I just wasn't too interested. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't really do this type of makeup, because then they would have to have like full ranges of shades. I'm gonna check. Yeah, so I don't really see any foundation like products. I do see primers, things like that. But what I was gonna say is that I'm already wearing the Superstay Lumimatte foundation. This is still the shade that is a little bit too light for me, a little bit too cool tone for me. I also have here the Superstay Active Wear Concealer. Also not exactly my shade. I'm trying my best here. I want to really test them out before I buy another shade to see if it's even worth it. So this was shade 5. It's a little yellow, and here is shade 90, and it's a little light, a little pink. This is just looking a little odd, so that's what's going on here. We are gonna start out with the eyeshadow palette that I bought from W7. I got the Mixology eyeshadow palette, and this seems to me like a dupe for a Charlotte Tilbury bigger palette that she does with those little quads with different tones. So this is quite a big palette, quite a few things going on here, different colors. I thought this would be an interesting one to kind of like see what their formula is like. I do have to say, in the swatches, the mattes seem pretty unpigmented, not like unusable, but they seem a little soft. And then the shimmers are very creamy, very putty. It's really the question how these are gonna look on the eye. I have my doubts, but we're gonna try it out. Like, maybe I'll be surprised. I've had some palettes swatch poorly that actually look really great on the eye. And then I also bought a eyeshadow primer, because a lot of you said that the eyeshadow primer from W7 is actually really good. So this is the W7 Prime View eyeshadow primer, and this is in the shade 02. I don't believe 01 is really available anywhere. It was a little bit hard to see what was going on with that. I did swatch this eyeshadow primer, and it seems very, very creamy. And that scares me a little bit. I have a feeling that this creamy eyeshadow primer in combination with those creamy shimmers isn't really gonna last. I'm hoping to film another video after this, but we're gonna try it out. But I am gonna set it and I'm gonna see if it works like that. I'm gonna give it a little bit of help because I have tried eyeshadow primers with this type of formula before, and usually it's just not exactly what works with my super oily lips. Like, I need it to be like cement. I don't need it to be like cream, like a creamy. It's very pigmented. It's kind of thick. So yeah, just look at how kind of like shiny and emollient that looks. Like, that's also like so much. There's so much on my eye. Like, maybe it will positively surprise me. I'm really hoping that it will. But I don't know. It is very pigmented though. It really like cancels out things. And usually I have primers that don't really do that because it greases. But like, there's definitely something to be said for a primer that cancels out, because it will make the eyeshadows appear a little bit more bright. Okay, it doesn't feel super creamy right now on the lids, but we're still gonna set it. So I'm just gonna take the Catrice All Matte Plus powder. Just gonna set the lid all over this time. So yeah, not my usual techniques. I definitely will try this eyeshadow palette with my regular primer as well to really give it a chance before my new makeup updates. Alright, we're gonna do a little bit of simple look just to see what this palette can do. I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit. And I think I'm just gonna start out with this kind of like light taupey shade. I actually am really hoping that this is gonna be good on the eye, like it's actually gonna show up. Like, that is looking pretty good. Like, that's actually looking pretty good. Like, it is a light color, so it's not gonna show up like crazily dark, but that's actually pretty nice. That's actually blending really well. Like, I'm liking that. It's soft, but this is also not the type of palette where I would expect something else than basically a neutral soft look. It's a pretty powdery formula. Okay, not bad. That was pretty easy. I can totally understand if you want to do like a really quick look. This would be great for that. I am gonna go into this shade over here. It's like a really dark brown, and I'm just gonna deepen up a little bit with that. Let's see how this shows up. Like a really dark gray brown. That's what is giving me what I'm thinking. It's looking a little patchy. I'm gonna take my time to blend it out. Oh, it's working, I think. In the end, it's working. But it's just with dark shades that are so powdery, sometimes it just kind of flies all over. Yeah, in the end, it's blending out. But I don't think this is gonna be my absolute favorite formula. But I'm always looking for good drugstore eyeshadows because it sometimes feels like it doesn't exist, but it's out there. And I just love discovering it. Like, when I finally find something that's actually good, that just gives me so much like joy. It's like one of my missions. Like, once again, it just goes a little bit too far because it's so powdery. It's so easy to kind of like color outside of the lines, but I don't know, it's not bad. I mean, this palette is like 10 euros, I think. Okay, I'm gonna blend the edges a little bit. Let's see. Like, it does blend pretty easily. It's not blending away, which is nice. And for the lower lash line, I think I'm gonna go into this shade over here, and I'm gonna combine it with the dark one as well. So first gonna go in with a lighter, kind of like neutral shade, and then the dark one. Okay, I think this is not looking bad. I really want to try this shimmer over here. This kind of like brown to green. This one I think is the shimmer that's swatched the best. Now that I'm looking at this palette doesn't really have an inner corner highlight, I think. Or maybe I can try that one as an inner corner. Okay, I'm very curious to see how these shimmers will look on the eye. They just feel super, super creamy. Like, that is looking pretty good on the finger. Better than in the arm swatch. So there's hope. There's hope for this look. It's pretty nice. That is actually pretty nice. Better than a lot of Essence and Catrice that I've tried. That's a pretty nice shimmer. Not gonna lie, that's pretty good. But is it gonna last? I don't know. Okay, gonna grab the inner corner shade. Hopefully it's gonna work. It's a little bit like a pinky champagne. Oh, it's pretty cute. And let's do another shade for the lower lash line. I'm gonna go with this shade from the Espresso Martini Quad. With like a cool tone taupe. Ooh, that is nice. That actually stuck to my lower lash line very well. Ooh, going back in with the brush with the dark brown shade, the matte, and blending a little bit more. I'm not mad at this. I'm definitely not mad at this. I thought that this could definitely go both ways, and this isn't bad. It's kind of like a smoky green brown cool tone-ish look. Bit of now like Cupid's Arrow Cappuccino. And I'm gonna add a little bit of this Essence Stay and Play gel liner. I didn't buy a liner from W7. This is a really nice teal shade. Also didn't buy mascara, so that's gonna be the Lash Without Limits in brown. Alright, so that is the eye look. I'm kind of liking it, I don't know. It's not like it's my favorite formula ever in the world, but it's pretty cute for an affordable palette. I mean, it is shimmery and shining, and it looks blended, and it looks impactful. So far, I don't know. There's some potential to this. Okay, it's time to try the first bronzing type product. I told you that I haven't tried a lot of bronzers in 2024, and this year we're starting out with 2. So this is the Cheeky Dip in a bronzer format. There's also a blush version of this that I didn't pick up. This is the shade Shadow, and this seems kind of like a She Glam dupe. It has a little sponge applicator. It does feel a little bit more thin and serumy than the She Glam. Do really love the look and the color of this. It's looking really good. Like, it's looking like a color that I would really enjoy. It's a little bit more of a contour shade for sure. It's definitely a little bit cool tone, but I do like very cool toned bronzers. Like, it's looking promising, but kind of like thin and serumy. So just gonna try it out. Honestly, I don't really understand usually the need for drugstore brands to dupe other drugstore brands. Like, the logic behind it is a little lost on me, but I still wanted to try it out. Like, it's not necessary for me for everything to have the same applicator. Okay, this is very subtle for sure. Like, it's a subtle product. Like, I already felt like it was gonna be that way because it looked so serumy, but I do like quite a subtle bronze, because I am pretty fair, and I just feel like it suits me better. It's looking pretty good, honestly. It's looking quite nice. It's blending easily. It's a really nice color. I don't feel like it's too gray on me to be kind of like a bronzer as well. Like a bronzer and contour in one. I like it. It's working well. No mess. Not too pigmented. The effect is kind of like skin-like. It doesn't have any glow to it. It's really like, it's drying down. It doesn't feel sticky. I feel like depending on the base you use, it could look a little bit more glowy. But that's actually quite nice. I do like that one. I think there's some potential to this one. It is, however, pretty subtle in its effect. Like, it's barely there. Then I also have a other bronzer, and this is the Bronze Icon. I don't even know what this would be a dupe for, but it looks like it would probably be some sort of Charlotte Tilbury dupe. And this is the bronzing powder. And this one, when you look at it in the packaging or like in the pan, it looks a little bit shimmery, but when I swatched it, it didn't look so shimmery. It looks a little bit more of a neutral color, not too warm, still pretty light. I think this is gonna work on me. We're gonna bronze up a little bit more with that. Gonna grab a different brush that is a little bit more fluffy. This is a pretty powdery product. Like, this is flying around in the pan. Let's see. Ooh, that's pigmented. Note to self, just take a little bit. A little is enough. Ooh, it's a pretty nice effect though. Pretty nice color. Bronzing at the forehead. And it's blending out really nicely. I don't think I see any like shimmer from this. I see some shimmer from the eyeshadow. But I don't think this bronzer actually has any shimmer. It's kind of like a satin bronze. I think this is quite a nice bronzer. It's looking pretty good. Definitely have to try it with another base as well, because it's a pretty like matte base, especially for me. Usually I wear a little bit more glowy products on the skin, but it's looking quite nice. Like, I was able to blend this out quite a bit and make it look quite natural on me, which is what I'm really looking for nowadays, a more natural bronze. So I'm really happy that this doesn't have any visible shimmer. I don't really know how that happens, like the shimmer in the pan but then not on the face, but I'm happy with it. Okay, next up I bought this Pink Pleasure and Dusty Pink Cheek Duo, Cream Cheek Duo. What is the name of this product? It just says Pink Pleasure and Dusty Pink. It is just 2 cream blushes. These actually swatched really nicely. They swatched like very creamy, very pigmented. We have this, it's a more brighter pink, and then we have a more soft pink. I think I'm gonna go with the soft pink shade. I think it's gonna suit the look. So I'm just gonna apply. Oh, it feels a little like tuggy almost. I'm gonna apply on the apples and blend from there. Like, it doesn't feel like a super emollient product. It doesn't always have to be the case, of course, like as long as it blends well. It is quite a matte cream product. I do like the color of that. I think that's looking pretty good. But yeah, very matte for a cream product. Usually there's more almost of a like skin-like glow to it. But because of that, it does have a little bit more of a like a blurring effect almost to the skin, which I do like. Interesting, very interesting. I need a little bit more on this side. It's not even. I do really like the color of this. Like, that's really cool. I'm liking that. I'm liking it. It's easy to use. I don't feel like it's lifting up things. And this is really nice for if you're someone who likes a cream product but doesn't like the emollient glowy effect that most of them have. I think this would also work really well on more oily skin types. I'm gonna use some brow glue before I forget. But yeah, I also didn't buy a brow glue from W7. Just using my favorite, also drugstore, the Color and Fix from Catrice. The next product that I have here to try is this Afterglow blush and highlight. The packaging is definitely inspired by Charlotte Tilbury. The rest of it, I don't really know. It's a blush and highlighter kind of palette. The packaging all feels a little bit like, okay, it's drugstore, but it doesn't feel as cheap as it could possibly be. I feel like it feels a little better than a lot what, for example, Essence does. So this actually on the inside looks really beautiful. It has these waves. It has kind of like a peachy pink side and then a more light and champagne side. You can do a little bit of a blush topper with this or a little bit of a highlight. I think I'm gonna go more in the highlight part for this look to just see what the formula is like. I'm just really curious because the swatch didn't tell me a lot, I felt like. I think this is gonna be nice. It almost seems a little bit like a baked powder. That is very glowy. That is glossy. It's a very powdery product, kind of like Kick-a-Pee in the pan. That's really nice. I need a little bit more over here. That looks really good. Okay, this highlighter might be my favorite so far. That's gorgeous. That is giving a super glossy effect. Doesn't seem like chunky or glittery. It's more of that like super smooth highlighter, but it's kind of like if you would really look at it super closely, it would have the microfine shimmers, which is like the Veil of Shimmer, which I also really enjoy. This is really nice. I really like this highlighter. I'm gonna put a little bit of it in my inner corner as well, I think. The lightest shade I'm gonna grab. Okay, this is definitely a very good first impression. I'm really liking the highlighter. Okay, let's see. I think I tried everything so far except for a bunch of lip products that I bought. I'm gonna try in the future to not buy as many lip products whenever I try a new brand. I mean, I was really into lip products last year, 2024. I'm probably still gonna be, but I'm gonna try and take it a little bit slower. Maybe not regain all of the lip products in numbers that I just decluttered and get back to like 500. I'm gonna try and not do that, but we're gonna do a few lip swatches. I'm gonna take off this lip balm, which is fine. I think it's fine. And then we have here the Lip Bounce Light Reflecting Lip Gloss. I don't think if this would be a dupe really for anything. Cannot think of it right now. I just got a really light pink shade. I don't see what the name of this is. It's called, oh, that's really hard to read, Soft Pink. And this is just a super reflective, super shimmery lip gloss that has multicolored sparkles. It has blue, it has champagne, it has pink. And let's see if this is gonna be gritty. Like, it's super shimmery. It has a really small applicator, which is nice if you want to be precise with it. Looks pretty cool. It's kinda gritty. It's not like the worst thing in the world, but you definitely feel those shimmers. I think this one is pretty cute, but definitely not something that I needed. Like, it's basically what I thought it would be. Like a glittery, slightly gritty gloss. Like, not too thick, not too thin. It's a little bit more on the thinner side. It's cute, but mostly shimmery. Okay, next I bought a kind of like velvet liquid lipstick. This says a Be Nude. And then it says Be Nude Velvet Matte Lipstick in shade Subtle. So what I was really hoping for was that this might be a dupe for the Anastasia Lip Velvets. The packaging definitely looks like the Maybelline Lifter products. However, I don't think Maybelline has a velvet liquid lipstick in the Lifter format, so they kind of like took different things that people might recognize and made it their own product. I do have to say that swatching this, it was very clear right away that this was not gonna be a lip velvet dupe because it is very lightly pigmented, and that is kind of like what I don't want. Like, I have had and I have these velvety liquid lipsticks, but I don't like them as much as the ABH lip velvets because those are really like truly fully pigmented, and a lot of these are just very kind of sheer, and that is something that I like in a glossy product, not as much as in a matte product. But we're just gonna try it out and see. Maybe I will like it. It really feels a little bit like a K-beauty formula. This is really like my lip color. My lip color but mattified. Feels extremely thin. Like, you almost don't feel that there's something on your lips. Yeah, I don't think I like this one. It's looking very unflattering. It's really gripping on to dry patches. Like, it's looking really uneven and dry. Like, that's not a good look. I want it to smooth, I want it to blur, and that's definitely not what this is doing. This is looking really bad, actually. Like, are we seeing this? Like, sometimes it's a bit hard to show on camera, but this is not a good look. I don't like this one. Like, it feels okay, but a little weird, a little like slippery silicone-y. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm gonna take it off right away. Next up, I bought a few of these click sticks, the version that W7 came out with. Actually, these shimmery ones that they came out with triggered this video. I wanted to try these and just see what the quality was like. I was first like, is this a good lip swatching video? But I thought, you know what, let's try the brand first. Let's see if I even like things from this brand. So I have here two shades in the Lip Drench Ultra Glisten color Balm. I have here first the shade, what even is this shade? Oh, this shade is 10 out of 10. Like, it could be anything. Like, it's the name, but it is printed on it in such a way that you could just look past it. Okay, so this is 10 out of 10. It's kind of like a nude shimmery shade. This one, when I swatched it, was really soft, really kind of gloopy, couldn't really get a smooth swatch, so I'm really like a little scared for the lip swatches. And then we also have the shade Yes Please, which is a more pinky shade, a little brighter. This one swatched a little bit more smoothly. I have a little bit more faith in that one. Okay, I'm just gonna try the nude shimmery one first. I haven't tried the Tarte ones. I haven't tried any of the shimmery click stickies. And we're just gonna see if I even like something like that. But this is so emollient. It's melting on my lips. And it's kind of like thick and sticky. There's definitely something about it. Like, it's looking pretty dimensional and it's feeling like it would be hydrating, but it's also feeling maybe a little bit too thick and sticky. Like, it's definitely very goopy. It's goopy. I need to look at this a little bit more closely in the mirror. Like, it's looking good, but I definitely see kind of like the stringiness of this. Like, it is a little goopy. Like, if it weren't so goopy, I would actually quite enjoy it. Maybe I should like take a little bit of tissue and see if I can make this work. Like, reduce the amount of product on my lips a little. Like, it's looking nice. I like the look of it. Yeah, I think now that I have less on my lips, I'm actually quite liking it. It's just because it's so melty and emollient. It is becoming very goopy if you like just apply it straight from the stick and just leave it. Almost like it would be a little better to apply it with like a lip brush, which I don't own. I should definitely buy a lip brush. Definitely. This is looking, besides that, really nice. So yeah, this is shade 10 out of 10. I have some hopes for this. Like, it will be a product probably with a little bit of a user manual, but if it looks really good and it feels hydrating, I might enjoy it. But I don't think everyone will enjoy this product. If you really hate any amount of stick, I would stay away from this. Alright, this shade Yes Please is very different. This one is a lot less emollient. It's not as thick, it's not as goopy, but it's super, super frosty, and it's also kind of gritty. Like, it's frosty to the point that I'm like, am I even liking the look of this? I don't know if I like the look of this. It is a little bit strange. Let's bite some tissue. It's a little better, but I don't know if I like this one. Maybe I could in the end. I don't know. Do I like this? Like, there's something about it that I could enjoy. But I think I like the other one in its finish a little better. I don't know, it's pretty gritty. I don't think it's gonna be my favorite. Like, it's gonna be something that is usable if I try. But that is just very kind of chunky looking. Alright, and then I have two shades from the Lip Drench Ultra Glaze Color Balm. So these are just glazy. I hope these are gonna be good. So I first up have shade Hot Sand. And actually, I've been eyeing these for a bit. Like, I thought the shades of these looked really interesting on Booty Shop. And I don't know, it seems like a nice nude color. Might still be a little bit on the goopy side, we'll see. And then I also have another pink shade, and this one is shade Vacay. And yeah, that one also looks pretty good, pretty interesting. Once again, I felt like the pink and the beige were a little bit of a different formula, so we're gonna see on the lips. Gonna try the beige first. Yeah, that is definitely a little bit of a warmer. Or is it warm? It's an interesting shade of beige. Definitely less emollient. Feels a little bit more like the Catrice versions of this lip balm product. It is gripping onto the lines of my lips in kind of like a weird way. It's looking a little like it's emphasizing dryness of my lips a little bit, which I do not love. It's feeling good. It's feeling better than the other ones. It's not gritty, it's not too gloopy. It feels more like a lip balm. It's just that this color is acting a little weird. Sometimes with these types of products, you just have to let them sit a little bit, and then they will kind of like make the lips look more smooth. But yeah, this one is emphasizing a little bit of something. Besides it, I think this is looking pretty cute. It's not looking super glossy. I feel like it could be more glossy. This feels more like a tinted balm. This one is applying a little unevenly, like it's melting off quicker than I can apply it, and it just kind of looks weird. This is shade Vacay. It's not really working out for me. Yeah, okay, if I kind of like do my best to disperse it with my lips, it looks better. This one looks more juicy, more shiny. I like the color. So it looks a little bit more flattering on my lips. And this one is looking much better. I like this one much more. But also just in the swatches, they swatched so differently. It was kind of weird. Yeah, this one is pretty cute. Still a little bit gloopy. Like, it's hard to apply, not too much. Okay, bit of tissue, it's looking a little better. This one could work. I don't know if these are gonna be my favorites in the end. It just seems a little bit finicky. But I'm gonna play around with them, see how it feels, see if I will reach for them. But yeah, not my absolute favorite, I think. I think this one has the most potential, and then the beige one from the shimmery version. Like, it feels quite nice now, but it definitely has a little bit of a grip to it. I do think it's gonna be a lip product that lasts and doesn't like slip around too much. Lastly, I think that is the last thing that I have here to try. Yes, I have here kind of like that 2-in-1 lip color style product. This is the Full-Time Stay On Lip Color, and I have shade, what is the shade name? I'm so confused. Photo Op. It's Photo Op. Okay. So we have a very pinky color on the one side. I don't know if it's gonna look good on its own without a lip liner. We're gonna try it. And on the other side, there is a gloss. And I thought this could be really interesting. What if it is actually good? I have slight doubts, but we're gonna try it. Okay. The moment of truth. Let's see if this could work for me. It seemed pretty pigmented, but it smells very strong. It's looking kind of uneven. I don't know if this is gonna work out. Like, these types of lip products, they have to be full pigment to work. Okay, gonna let that dry a little bit, see what happens. I can tell you that I would wear a lip liner with this. Like, It's a little bit of a bright shade to wear on its own. But it's not matching this eye look at all. I feel like it's dry. Let's apply the gloss on top and see how that looks. Is it gonna save the day? This is a really small brush. I think I like the Kiko Milano ones better. I just feel like that gloss is better. This gloss is fine, but also it's just not looking very even. It's not pigmented enough. Although some of the Kiko Milano ones from the Unlimited Double Touch also are not pigmented enough and look very uneven. Maybe there are other ones from this line that look better, but this one I feel like is just not smooth enough. Like it could be that if I have a perfect lip day and it's winter, I don't have any perfect lip days in the winter, like they're gonna be a little dry. If I have a perfect lip day, I might be able to get away with this lip product. Like it's feeling pretty good with the gloss, but I'm not like sold on it. Okay, so this is the finished look. I took off the liquid lipstick. I just applied a little bit of Catrice Long Lasting Lip Liner in Manhattan, and I did reapply the shimmery nude beigey shade. And actually this time around I didn't swipe on the lips, but I kind of like dotted it on the lips and it went really well. So I'm kind of liking it right now. Like this lip is working for me. So there is some potential to the lip products. Definitely have to try them out more. I feel like the bronzer products worked really well. I feel like the eye products, or like the eyeshadow palettes, worked better than I was expecting. The highlighter was pretty. The blush was pretty. The primer, the eyeshadow primer, I definitely have to see how that goes. So far it's looking good. And with the lip products, like I'm not too sure yet. We have to wait and see. But I don't think those are going to be my favorites, even though that kind of like started out this video. Like Velvet Liquid Lipstick, don't like it. This Dual Liquid Lipstick, don't like it. This lip balm, just okay. And then in the end, I think I'm going to end up liking half of these clicky sticks. I'm glad I didn't buy them all. Like that would have been a big mistake. And then this gloss, I feel like it's just okay. So far, I'm glad I tried this brand. Definitely excited to try it out more. Probably I'm not gonna buy more really quickly unless you're like, okay, you really have to try this, you really have to try this. I will keep that in mind. I could incorporate it in a different video, trying more different drugs or products. And that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.